Right now, I am in Normandy, France, more specifically the city of St-Mere-Eglise. And when you're looking at all the stuff that happened on D-Day, if you're really wanting to get into like the stuff that happened with the paratroopers, St-Mere-Eglise is really the hub. This is where the 82nd Airborne had one of their drop zones. A lot of 101st Airborne guys ended up being misdropped here in this area. So anyway, today we're going to look at a few things here around St-Mere-Eglise and also look at how this city has a connection with the city of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
We're in St-Mere-Eglise in Normandy, France, the heart of airborne operations during D-Day. And behind me is the most iconic landmark in St-Mere-Eglise, which is the church. And you may notice on top of the church there's a mannequin of a paratrooper, and that represents the paratrooper that had gotten stuck on the roof during D-Day, which is a local legend here. But I want to duck inside the church real quick and show you some things inside.
We just walked into the church here in St-Mere-Eglise, and this is actually my first time in here, and my goodness, this place is absolutely beautiful. And over on one of the walls, they have a memorial to those civilians and soldiers who lost their lives in World War II. And then there's an organ here that is dedicated to the civilian military victims of World War II.
I wanted to point out that most of the windows were broken during the fighting here on June 6th and the days following. And when they replaced some of the glass, they made a tribute to their American liberators in the form of the replaced stained glass. So this is my favorite window in here, and it has the Mother Mary standing there, coming down from the sky, along with American paratroopers descending from the sky like angels from the sky. Bill Garnier, in a famous interview, talked about that. And the angels coming from the sky was to liberate the French people from Nazi tyranny. And to the French people, it's almost like a religious symbol. And they depict it in this beautiful stained glass window here in St-Mere-Eglise.
Here in the church, they have a place where you can give an offering, and they have these prayer cards here. And if you look, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's a prayer to Our Lady of Peace. And at the beginning says, "Our Lady of Peace, in this place where so many people have given their lives for freedom and human dignity, in this place where so many people come in search of history, we choose thee as patron saint." So here in this place that saw so much violence and so much combat in June of 1944, here they are dedicating themselves to peace. Here in St-Mere-Eglise, as in many places along the Normandy coastline, they have several memorials. This one is says in remembrance of the airborne spirit overlord, June 1944, and it says they gave their tomorrow for our today. And then they have the different airborne units represented here: the 82nd Airborne, also the American 101st Airborne, 1st Canadian Parachute Battalion. Then it tells all of those who were killed and wounded, and then also the British and the French. Now, when we visited the different landing beaches, there are several really large memorials that look similar to this one. This is a scaled down version, but they also have one here in St-Mere-Eglise that is dedicated to the men of the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions who liberated this area. So you can go to Juneau, Gold Sword, Utah, Omaha, and see larger versions of this same thing. But this one is dedicated solely to the American paratroopers here in St-Mere-Eglise. So like I said, in the early morning hours of June 6th, there would have been a lot of fighting that was going on right here around the church, and there's actually quite a bit of battle damage that you can see if you know right where to look.
I wanted to show you the most iconic landmark, which is the church in St-Mere-Eglise, but I want to take you to another iconic landmark, which is over a little bit further. But on the way, I want to point out a couple of really interesting battle damage spots. You can see on this fence, there's a lot of battle damage, and I'll just point to a couple of them. Right here, that's struck. If we work our way down a little, here's one right here. It actually bent the bar a little bit. We walk down a little bit further. We have a pretty dramatic strike right here. Yet another one here. And there's a really dramatic one right here in this fence. So there's a lot of battle damage on the church, throughout the church, but just a couple that are right here and very visible is right here. There's a few here. This one's pretty dramatic and pretty easy to see. But there's, if you look at the stones going up, there's several areas of battle damage. There's combat going on all over the place here on June 6th.
Now, here in St-Mere-Eglise, of course, most people come for the World War II and airborne history, but there's something else here that I think is just really overlooked and underappreciated, and that is the outdoor urinal.
This is the second iconic landmark I wanted to show you in St-Mere-Eglise. Now, a lot of people who have been to the Gettysburg Museum of History might think, this looks pretty familiar because we have one of these at the Gettysburg Museum of History. So what is it? It's a kilometer marker for the Liberty Road. And there's one for every kilometer between here and Bastogne. And this is kilometer number 0, and this is considered ground zero for where the liberation started. And we have one, an original. This is a cement one. The one we have is one of the lightweight versions that they like, the ones they have along the roads. And the reason we have it is because St-Mere-Eglise and Gettysburg are sister cities. They started a sister city program decades ago, and we share the same conflict. The people were affected by conflict, and one of the mayors of Gettysburg and one of the mayors of St-Mere-Eglise got together and decided to make this sister city program. And Ours is the one at the museum is painted as a tribute to St-Mere-Eglise, and we have some information about it on the side. But this is the one in front of we're at the Hotel de Ville, which is basically the mayor's office in St-Mere-Eglise. And I wanted to bring you here. You'll see these all along the roads. There's one at Utah Beach as well, and every kilometer you'll see one of these all up the Liberty Road, an iconic symbol of the liberation of France and Europe.